Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, This Green's Life. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. So big shout out to all of my new subscribers. Thank you for joining our family. And I hope that the message I convey is something that is going to add some value to your life. Thank you to all the people that have been asking questions and commenting on my videos. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to go in depth into some of the questions that I had been asked about, relocating to Grenada, working in Grenada, finding a place to live in Grenada. Like, we're going to talk about all of that, right? Because I don't think I really got into like what day to day is like here. So I think I'm going to do a video on that. So, if you ever saw my video where I talked about what I do for a living, I had mentioned, like, I work as a teacher online, and I actually did something that I said I was not going to do. I took on a full time job. So I've been busy. So that's why you haven't seen me. Um, I decided to do it for two reasons. The money, I couldn't turn down the money. It was just too good. Because imagine, making that kind of money and you're sitting in your house. Number two, I have a set schedule. So I work maybe like from 8 o'clock in the morning to like about 2 o'clock, 2:30. And I have like about three breaks in between. And the classes are only like 40 minutes long. And I do have a co-teacher. So it's been a little challenging, but it's been worth it in terms of, days off and the set schedule, more money. And Friday was my last day until January 5th. So yeah, I can't complain. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing to complain about. If you can find a way to work from home, and when I say work from home, I mean wherever home is, that has to be the best thing because you're in your home. That's number one. Number two, depending on where you are, once you finish work, like oftentimes I go to the beach after work or I run some errands after work, I'm home. So, in between breaks, I can do things at home. I can relax. I can eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm in my house. So I can't complain. So, that's where I've been in terms of, why you haven't seen me. But what's my message for today? I want to talk about the fact that it's December, guys, right? It's December. I remember when I made a video at the beginning of the year, it was like 3 weeks into the new administration. And I talked about, there being a glitch in the matrix. And it's so amazing because look how much has transpired since January, right? We are in December now, and things are crazy. So many people have lost their jobs. People are going to food pantries. People had been affected who was, getting public assistance, people being deported, just a lot of unrest going on. And, unfortunately, when I made that video in January, like I said, it didn't get any better. It just got worse. And it's December, guys. So, like, what are you going to do? I asked then, what now? Now I'm asking, well, what are you going to do? Because, there's certain things, obviously, like I mentioned before, that we can't control. But there's things in our lives that we can control. And I don't know how much worse it has to get for people to start going, like, nah, this is not for me. Like, maybe I need to try something else. And I know the thing is like when you're comfortable, right? It's like hard to imagine having to pick yourself up and quote unquote start over again, because if you go to a new place you have to start over again. If you live somewhere, you already know the system, you already know the runnings, you know how things go. When you move to another place, you're around other people, there's other systems, you have to learn, this new system, and it can be quite challenging, right? But imagine on the other side of that is a softer way of life. Even though, yes, you're going to have to go through, you're going to have to struggle a little bit when you get there. But I think the quality of life is what makes up for that. Because here in Grenada, it's like a whole different world in comparison to America. Obviously it's a slower paced, and when I say slower paced, I mean things move slow. You know what I mean? Like when you're used to things being done quickly, and something that will take a week, here it might take 3 months. You have to get used to that. But as I mentioned in one of my other videos, it's like if you are looking for a softer and slower paced life, these are the things that are going to come along with it. But on the other side of that is, I say every day is worth it, because I can't imagine going back to that life that I had in America, where I was just ripping and running every day. Like I felt like I always had to be doing something. Something always needed to get done. And things need to get done here too, because you have your day-to-day life, but it's just different, because I don't have to feel like I have to force myself to work because I have all of these bills to pay and all of these responsibilities and all of these obligations. I don't have that anymore. And I need you guys to want that for yourself too, because I still don't get it. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, because I know some people, it's easier said than done, because they have obligations that they have to fulfill. They have children, they have mortgages, they have other, financial responsibilities. They may have parents that are elderly. You know what I'm saying? They may have health concerns. There's a lot of things that may be preventing some people from doing things that they may want to do. But then on the other side of that, there's some people that don't have those situations, or if they do, if they think creatively and think outside of the box, maybe there's a way for them to be able to still make a move and still uh have attention on those things, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say is, it's December, guys. So what does that mean? A new calendar year. In a couple of days we're going to be in January. So it will be 1 year later. 1 year later, are you still going to be in the same spot, talking about the same things, doing the same things, complaining about the same things? Or are you going to say, okay, I'm going to be on the offensive side of life, and I'm going to start finding solutions to all of these things, where my life looks different? I can start to have a life of ease and comfort and minimize my stress as much as possible. So I need you to understand you have that ability within yourself. And I want you to tap into that power, because we as a people, especially people of color, I speak to everyone, but people of color in particular, we have overcome so many things in this life. So don't feel defeated. Do something for yourself that takes you outside of this system. All right. So you have a couple of weeks left, either to make a plan, start doing your research, or executing that plan. So let me know in the comments, what are you going to do? What's your plan?